typical episode formula. It's very simple.
At the beginning of every episode, you would see like footsteps kind of walking along, and there'd be like a knock on the door.
Just a minute. Arthur, is that you, Carol?
The person would open the door and they'd go, "What are you doing here?"
What are you doing in here?
What are you doing with that?
And then
And then the angels all get called into the office.
They all come in. Charlie has an assignment.
Morning, Bosley. Good morning, Angels.
Morning, Charlie.
They would always go undercover. They were always, like, in disguise.
Is Centerfolds?
Kelly, when you took this job, you knew there'd be a lot of undercover work.
Merci beaucoup.
And one of them would try to penetrate into this world.
I'm Jill Monroe, your new tennis instructor.
Hi, I'm Kelly Garrett. I'm with New Sport magazine.
I'm Sabrina. I'm working as the photo stylist on the show.
Jill is going to teach a special class in disco dances.
I just want to be a clown.
It seemed like in every one, for some reason, they were masquerading as models.
Yeah, we're going to do the fashion designer model cover.
Okay, you're going undercover as models, and you're going undercover as swimsuit models, and you're going undercover, you own a modeling agency.
A prostitute.
Busted the prostitute ring, always.
Now, that's a foxy lady.
Everything. They were every woman.
So then ultimately they've infiltrated, they've done whatever they do.
They get some clues.
Kind of crawling around and like just hearing things and
Hiding behind couches while conversations are going on. Great techniques, spy techniques.
they don't do a lot of real detective work. They look through file cabinets.
Me to put a bullet through that beautiful body.
The angels use their sexuality to get what they wanted all the time.
You know, I'm sure if we sat down alone over a quiet drink, we could work something out.
Time for my date with our other suspect, the kissing intern. Now, I wonder what it'll take to interest Mr. Watson.
Half of the show is the angels flirting with men to get information from them.
Let me get this straight. We take our clothes off, and you give us the information we want, right?
Kind of like lure people into certain situations.
It is just a little drive back to your motel, isn't it?
But they were smart and resourceful, and they did what was needed.
That was the whole purpose, I guess, of having the beautiful angels.
Yeah. Here's the circumstances what happened. Farrah is sort of sneaking around an office to get some kind of key, and a security guard comes in.
You have exactly 1 minute before Mr. Doyle puts a bullet into that pretty head of yours.
And Farrah sort of distracts him by kind of presenting herself to him, and then if necessary, making out with him in order for Jacqueline to kind of make her escape.
And I always thought it was kind of funny because you would think, okay, come on, can these guys be really that stupid?
If I lived here, I'd want to do more than just look.
Oh, yeah?
I don't ever remember a scene where they were in bed with someone. It just got them through the door.
Here we are.
Our angels were always good girls.
They would kind of hurt people. They would break in hearts. In the show where she lured this older hitman in, Farrah had to befriend him. She really like screwed him over. By the end of it, like she had to turn him in, and it really hurt him.
I'm sorry.
They used men.
I think that you could call it educational programming because that teaches chicks what they need to know to survive.
Gee, you're strong.
I don't think that I ever saw any of Charlie's angels become involved with somebody on the show.
You ever think about
Getting married? Not very often.
They were choosing the career over the guy.
It's not you, it's me.
If they had to choose, they had to choose between the guy or being with the girls.
Yeah,
and they always chose the girls.
They were dumb.
Bye, Kelly.
I think it was understood that if one of them got married or met somebody, that they wouldn't be an angel anymore.
That's what I've been trying to tell you about men, Jill. They'll do it to you every time.
They never fell for the right guy. They always fell for the villain.
I had to keep reminding myself this man kills people. Yet he seems so kind and gentle.
Okay, now this is the one I remember. This was Sabrina's big, she almost fell in love with the wrong person.
The guy was, in fact, the villain.
You're the only one who knows anything about that.
And that's the problem.
Wish things could have worked out, but, you know, they always had each other to walk away with.
You okay? Had better days. Yeah.
next week there'll be
another villain
be
for
another
you to
villain,
seduce and turn in
Yeah.
at the end of the show.
Right.
Good luck.
Well, the important thing is we're all back together again.
They had each other, and, you know, sisterhood is powerful.
I just want you to know I love you. And Sabrina loves you.
Their friendship and their camaraderie was really central to the show. That they weren't stabbing each other in the back over guys. They depended on each other being there all the time to come to their rescue.
Drop it.
The beating the crap out of them was much more impressive to me. Getting in a fight with some man and then kick his butt.
Well, as I recall, there was a lot of sort of pseudo kung fu or something.
If you have three angels who you know are pretty tough, you're gonna have to create a pretty tough woman for them to come up against.
The antagonist was often this big butch woman who was the opposite of the feminine, delicate angel.
Jeremy,
Yeah.
use the napalm.
I see your head outside the door. I'll knock it off.
Like, they were the only good-looking women on the show, so our evil men, if there were women, they were Russian. Big, beefy, sort of masseuses.
Where is the manuscript?
Then one of them gets into some kind of jeopardy.
That's like half hour through where like someone would almost get shot at.
Run off the road.
Kelly, hit the brake!
Someone would always be in danger.
What was so great about Charlie's Angels, they had to use their wits to get out of a given situation, which generally entailed, I don't know, pushing over a lot of bookcases. So you love to see how, in a given situation, they're going to use their mind power to overcome the enemy. It culminates in a shootout on a rooftop, and then everyone gets in their Fords and they have a car chase.
If we lose him, the man in the trunk's dead.
They bust in and like, freeze.
Hold it. Hello. Drop it. Hold it! Take it down!
The good guys won, the bad guys lost. Every time.